Good evening, ABL fans. Ninth season, continuing to rise to greatness. We are here from San Juan City in the Philippines as the number one team in the league with 17 wins and 4 losses. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will host the Macau Bears, currently number 4 in the team standings. 12-9 is their win-loss record. We are live on ABS-CBN Sports SNA. This is a live and exclusive coverage of Virtual Playground and ABS-CBN Sports. We are also greeting everybody watching us from YouTube and also on sports.abs-cbn.com. Good evening once again to all our viewers. Live right now, I'm Andre Felix. With me is Marco Benitez. Marco, good evening. Another exciting game here in the ABL, back here in the Philippines.
Good evening, Andre, and it's great to be working with you again after a long time. And it's going to be an exciting matchup between the Macau Black Bears and, of course, the number one team, as you mentioned, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. So far, the series has been split between these two teams. Macau winning one last Wednesday, while San Miguel Alab Pilipinas winning their first encounter back in January. As we take a look at the standings, San Miguel still on top, 17-4. Last 5 games, they're 4-1 on the road. They're 6-4 at home. They are still undefeated, 11-0, while the Macau Black Bears at 12-9. In the last 5 games, they've lost 2 out of their last 5. Of course, they are without Anthony Tucker, their world import, who has suffered a Jones fracture and will be out likely 4 to 6 weeks. So that is a big development for them. But of course, Macau is still looking to move up the standings.
And right now, though, before we turn it over, before we talk about the players, the stats, the last game of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, let's turn things over to Mr. Top Juliano for the announcement of the players for both San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the Macau Black Bears.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it's another game day here at the 9th season of the ASEAN Basketball League. This time we are back at the Phil Oil Flying V Center in San Juan as the defending champion San Miguel Alab Pilipinas takes on the visiting Macau Black Bears, brought to you live via ABS-CBN, SNA, and Virtual Playground. And now let's call out the players of both teams. Starting off with the Macau Black Bears. Number 4, Channing Yoon. Number 8, Ryan Watkins. Number 10, Mike McKinney. Number 11, Lai Ka-tong. Number 15, Nathan Yu. Number 20, Derek King. Number 21, Kong-chi. Number 25, Yu Si-hao. Number 31, Chan Song-chan. And number 48, Lau Song-pong. The head coach for the Macau Black Bears is Mu Chan-se. His assistant is Matthias Fisher. Once again, the Macau Black Bears. And now, make way for our very own San Miguel Alab Pilipinas! Number 1, back-to-back local MVP, Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Number 2, the Fireball, Josh Urbistondo. Number 3, the Dominator, Lo Domingo. Number 6, J.R. Alabanza. Number 9, Vince Rivero. Number 13, Pau Avellana. Number 24, Opin Sumalino. Number 25, E.A. Ethan Alvano. Number 27, Thomas Torres. Number 34, Ronaldo Boltman. And number 36, the Hulk, PJ Ramos. The head coach for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is Jimmy Lapag. His assistants are Mac Kuwan, MC Evolution, and Eric Meng. Team consultant is Danny Sigo. Once again, our very own San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. At this point, we would like to call on Mr. Hans Paronda to lead us in the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil. Sa dagat at puntok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilag ang tulat, awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhatid pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mang-aapi, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you, Mr. Hans Paronda. Both teams now may proceed to the center court for the pre-game handshake.
You just heard Mr. Hans Foronda giving us his rendition of our Philippine national anthem, Lupang Hinirang. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, right now 17 wins, 4 defeats, but still on top of the team standings. Earlier we did get to see where we are so far as the season continues to heat up here in the ASEAN Basketball League on its 9th season. Now let's take a look first at the last match of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas back in March 3, just 5 days ago, where, like what you mentioned, Marco, they prevailed against Singapore away. As 80-70 was the final score. Singapore led for most of the way though in the first half before settling for that 35-33 lead at the break. But Alab then starting to catch fire with that 36-23 third quarter to take the lead for good.
Well, as usual, this semi-rivalry between the Singapore Slingers, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas always producing exciting matches. But San Miguel Alab Pilipinas took charge in that third quarter, as you mentioned. 50% from the field, 32% for the Singapore Slingers. 3-point field goals, both teams really struggling in that area. But in terms of assists, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas do a better job sharing the basketball, 22-9, and they really dominated the pace of the game, 20-8 rather, in terms of fast break points, and a lot of those coming off those baseball pitches coming from PJ Ramos to Ronaldo Bachman.
Let's talk about the two Puerto Ricans since we're at it already. Let's talk about the 34-year-old Ronaldo Bachman, 6'8". Of course, 1 point away from making it to the top 10 leading scorers in the ASEAN Basketball League. And the big man, the 33-year-old, 7'3" behemoth, PJ Ramos. Big numbers for both these players, combining for 50 points, also combining for 25 rebounds. And Bachman distributing as well with 6 dimes. PJ Ramos manning the paint with 4 block shots.
And what makes this duo so powerful or so potent is that they the chemistry between these two guys, not only are they talented, not only are they big, but they played together in the national team in Puerto Rico, and they have so much chemistry. In that game against Singapore, Bachman was the one carrying the load in the first quarter, in the first half, and then in the second half, it was PJ Ramos had a stretch where he scored 5 straight points, really making it tough for the Singapore Slingers.
The Macau Black Bears, let's shift our attention to the other side as we take a look at the big man. There's PJ Ramos, just relax, keeping it cool. Now the Macau Black Bears visiting San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. They did prevail last February 27, 103 to 116 was the final score. But this was their last match just 2 days ago when Macau beat the West Sports Malaysia Dragons in their home court. They were 2-3 in their last 5 games, and Macau dominated this one, getting out to a 23-11 first quarter lead and then clinching the game following that 22-9 third period.
And this one was also coming off back-to-back losses against the Formosa Dreamers. You saw them dominate inside the paint, 38-26. Points from turnovers, 29-11, and then 25 bench points. Majority of those coming from Jening Leung, the new addition to this Macau Black Bear squad. Of course, Jening Leung coming from the Wolf Warriors of Zhuhai.
With Anthony Tucker sidelined, you did mention about the Jones stress fracture for Anthony Tucker. He might be out for quite a while for Macau Black Bears, but carrying the load so far is Mike McKinney and Ryan Watkins, also combining for 50 points in their last game, also combining for 25 boards, similar to the two we mentioned earlier, Ronaldo Bachman and Ramos.
Mike McKinney started out strong in that game, really was very aggressive offensively, showing his team that he can take charge outside of Anthony Tucker. 22 points, 19 rebounds, and in that second half was facilitating, especially for the locals. And they're going to have to really carry a lot of load, especially against this very deep San Miguel Alab Pilipinas squad.
Let's take a look at our officials. T. Yong Cern from Malaysia. He is the tallest of the three. Natapong Jontapa from Thailand. We also have Chuen Wing Leong from Singapore. Those are the 3 officials. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas in their home immaculate white uniforms. As you see, 2-time reigning local MVP Bobby Ray Parks Jr. will join Ethan Alvano in the backcourt. In the front court, Ramos and Bachman and Lawrence Domingo will fill in for the injured Kalen Tiongson, who is still nursing that sprained ankle, that right ankle that's been bothering him quite a while, but he'll be back probably next week. Now let's do our ceremonial toss. Of course, former De La Salle Green Archer, Francis Zamora. You know, when I was still in college, I remember you playing with Francis Zamora in the UAAP.
As one of the premier big men of the Collegiate League. As also a fixture here in San Juan.
You're batchmates, right?
No, I'm a little younger. Nagabot din tayo.
I was just told by our director, Abit Ramos, to say that, by the way.
Francis Zamora, one of the biggest supporters of basketball here in San Juan. And
he has also done wonders for the community here in San Juan City. Off we go. Macau Black Bears, of course, in their black jerseys, and San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, again, in white. McKinney starts firing against Parks. That's not an easy task. Guarded by one of the best defenders in the league, but Mike McKinney starts off fire.
And this is exactly how Mike McKinney started out in that game against West Sports. Very aggressive, looking to score, looking to dictate the tempo here for his Macau Black Bears.
Alvano sees Parks corner 3. Laudo trying to get the offensive board. Here's Macau on the run.
And Jening Leung, one of the biggest additions here mid-season, coming from the Zhuhai Wolf Warriors. Yeah, he gives them that added defensive presence on the perimeter and can also hit the 3 as Ryan Watkins hits his first triple of the game.
Watkins is locked and loaded. And the Macau Black Bears starting off hot.
And you have Watkins and McKinney, who average close to 40% from long distance. Good box out once again for the guys in black.
Not giving San Miguel Alab Pilipinas a chance to set up another offense. Watkins now against Ramos. He does have that quickness advantage. Parks with a block on Watkins.
Excellent help defense there from Bobby Ray.
Oh, but Lawrence Domingo bulldozing inside.
Lawrence Domingo, one of the X factors against Singapore, had 12 points as a starter, only his 4th start of the season today.
Wow, how about McKinney? A killer cross. It was Domingo that time who was on McKinney. but still no problem for Mike McKinney.
Our Mike McKinney last season was a heritage import, but this season playing like a world import in terms of his role for Macau.
Ramos gets the offensive board.
This is one of the keys for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to dominate inside. They have the obviously much bigger front line, and if they can dominate inside, that's pretty much half the ball game for them.
Oh, nice move, McKinney again. And Mike McKinney is on fire, folks. 6 of the 9 points of Macau coming from that man, Mike McKinney.
And you know, another key for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is to stop or limit McKinney and Watkins. If you prevent those two from getting their averages, that's also half the battle for you.
Domingo inside. Lawrence Domingo now at 4 points.
Because of the smaller lineup of Macau, Lawrence Domingo looking to exploit that mismatch down low.
There's Leong guarded by Alvano. Watkins wanted to go to McKinney. Watkins, the fake. 7 to shoot. On the switch, McKinney. Watkins will try from the outside, and he buries the triple. And the Macau Black Bears, Marcos starting off really hot here against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. What a block from Watkins.
It was just one shot of the game. 5 out of 6 from the field.
17 seconds.
Of course, we are not complete without our companion at courtside, Miss Denise Tensai is ready, and she is on standby. Denise?
With a few remaining games before the playoffs, Ronaldo Balkman reminds Team Alab Pilipinas that all the more they shouldn't let their guard down, because as he says, inconsistency keeps you longer than you intended to stay, and complacency will cost more than you're willing to pay, and that's one thing that Alab Pilipinas cannot afford to do, especially in tonight's game. Back to you, Andre and Marco.
Thank you, Denise. Nice look by the two bigs. Domingo inside to Bachman.
San Miguel Alab Pilipinas looking to exploit their strengths. That's about 3 baskets straight going down low. Domingo and Bachman taking advantage of their height.
And it's also important to note, just like that, Bachman now number 10 in the all-time scoring list of the ABL.
That's a great achievement, especially after being on his 3rd season.
Bachman.
No call by the referee. A lot of contact there between Bachman and Jenny Leong.
Jenny Leong wanting to draw that charge as we take a look. This pass by Domingo to Bachman against McKinney. Bachman's first 2 points also gets him to the top 10 list in the all-time scoring of the ASEAN Basketball League.
You know, knowing Coach Miguel Alab, he will tell his troops to bear with the shooting of Macau Black Bears, because the law of averages will come into play later on. But their game plan right now is up to point, attacking the basket on every opportunity. PJ Ramos picking up the foul against Ryan Watkins, who is pretty much the only legitimate center on this Macau Black Bears squad.
Ramos misses, and these two players not suited up. Of course, Brandon Rosser on your left, Kalen Tiongson on your right. Kalen, as mentioned, is nursing a right sprained ankle. As for Brandon Rosser,
some knee issues.
If
I'm not mistaken.
That's right, according to team manager, team owner Charlie D. He just had his MRI, so no diagnosis yet, but it looks like Brandon will miss a couple of games for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Oh, sorry, miss from Jeong inside. Bachman, Domingo, season opening, takes off, puts it in.
And Lawrence Domingo continuing to relentlessly attack the basket. Another assist for Ronaldo Bachman.
McKinney. So far flawless here in this game is McKinney. But the white shirts all over McKinney. And because of the attention so much on Mike McKinney, it leaves
Kai Katong.
Yes.
Kai Katong open for the penetration. And here's that penetration once again from Lawrence Domingo. They're exploiting that 3 big lineup is San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And because of the offense of the Macau Black Bears, almost everybody out on the perimeter, and they have so much attention being placed against Mike McKinney that it's allowing the other players of Macau almost an open lane to penetrate.
Like Katong, only scoring 2 points in almost 30 minutes of play in their last game against the West Sports Malaysia Dragons.
makes the free throw. A little bit of pressure, full court pressure for the Black Bears.
Score is tied 13 all. Parks again from corner. Gets fouled, taking the three. He will head to the line for 3 freebies. Foul will be charged on Derek King. Early timeout called by the Macau Black Bears. So a TV timeout. We'll be right back. The score is tied. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas 13, Macau Black Bears also 13. The basketball fans inside the Phil Oil Flying V Center here in San Juan City, enjoying the action as we see two cute little kids also enjoying the basketball this Friday night. It is March 8th, 2019. We are live on SNA. This is a live and exclusive coverage of Virtual Playground of ABS-CBN Sports of the ASEAN Basketball League. Two-time reigning local MVP Bobby Ray Parks Jr. also playing his final season with the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Number 2 pick in the PBA draft.
That's right. That's right.
Ray Parks this season averaging about 15 points per game, close to 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Also 38% from the three-point area. Meanwhile, Macau starting out very aggressive. A little half-court pressure here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, but that's going to result in a foul. They're going to try to put pressure against Mike McKinney.
That half-court trap really came out of nowhere, surprising the Macau Black Bears.
And I like the ploy by Coach Miguel Alab. He knows that he has the deeper bench, even with the absence of Kalen Tiongson and Brandon Rosser.
Leong knocks down the triple from the corner. He is now on the scoreboard again, tying the score at 16.
Only in his 4th game with the Macau Black Bears, but he's a 38% three-point shooter.
What a great addition to this team. Getting Leong. Alfano will answer in and out. Watkins handing it over to Jenning Leong.
Little zone defense there by the Macau Black Bears, going to force San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to beat them from the outside.
Leong using his body. Cannot convert. Domingo. Alfano on the run. Back to Domingo. Parks. And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas will use the clock wisely. Parks asking for it. Domingo attacks. Up fake. Oh, what a move against Ryan Watkins. And now Lodo has 8 points to lead all scorers.
He continues to be one of the X factors here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Nobody from the perimeter players of Macau can match up against Domingo inside.
McKinney overshoots. Macau still has the leather. 9 to shoot. Watkins fires a 3. Off to the right. Bachman surveying the floor now for Alab Pilipinas. Alvano. Ethan gets fouled, gets the basket in. 1 for Ethan Alvano.
Showing us the shake and bake and the crossover there. Ethan Alvano. Strong finish with the left.
You know, Coach Jimmy Alapag really has a lot of confidence, and he trusts his young point guard, Ethan Alvano. What a play from this young kid. Will definitely have a bright future as we see Upeng Sumalino coming in for the first time, replacing Lawrence Domingo. who gets high fives all around from his teammates at the bench.
You know, how much confidence does Coach Miguel Alab have in Ethan Albano, giving him the starting point guard reins in his first season?
That's right, considering you have the likes of Josh Urbistondo there, who can actually
Paulo
start.
Javelona
Paulo
as well,
Javelona
even
also.
Bobby Ray Parks.
That's right.
Used to play the point guard spot last season. But it has done wonders, as it has allowed Bobby Ray Parks to slide to that number 2 spot, allowing him to focus more on his scoring.
Leong, guarded by Sumalino. McKinney will fire a long bomb, and he gets another 3. Mike McKinney, 9 points now for McKinney.
Mistake there is Bobby Ray Parks going under the screen, PJ Ramos trying to push up on the screener, giving Parks room to go under, but McKinney's release just so quick.
Now Parks posting up McKinney. Parks, nothing you can do with Bobby Ray Parks. He's too talented, too strong inside the paint.
And this is one thing that Parks has to do, has to make McKinney work overtime on defense.
But McKinney feeling it, knocking it down again from downtown. Second triple, now 12 points for Mike McKinney.
Second time Parks goes under that screen. He looks at Coach Jimmy Alab. Coach Jimmy tells him that's okay.
But Ramos answers back.
PJ Ramos shoots it at about 31% for a 7'3" big man.
8
Same
points for PJ. McKinney feeling it. He will head to the line for 2. What a game here so far, Marco.
The Macau Black Bears, #1 team in the ABL this season in terms of scoring. 102 points per game. 25 or 22 points already.
Oh yeah. If you have guys like Mike McKinney, he's just gonna shoot that leather. McKinney now at the line.
And now you have the defensive backcourt of Paulo Javelona and Josh Urbistondo, as well as Oping Sumalino, together with PJ Ramos and Ronaldo Balkman. Here's Yi Hao, number 25 for Macau, has also made his way into the game. Expect McKinney and Ryan Watkins to play practically all 40 minutes.
Mike McKinney so far has 12 points to his name.
And with that basket, Andre, Mike McKinney reaches that 1,000 point plateau.
Wow.
13 points in the game, 1,000 career points for Mike McKinney.
Alab Pilipinas up by 1, 25-24. Ramos, the kick out to Bachman, short on that 3. McKinney in trouble, and a foul will be charged. Seems like it will be on Uping Sumalino.
That time that was a nice kick out there by PJ Ramos against that zone defense. Open shot for Ronaldo Balkman, who is a 38% three-point shooter. There's a foul there. The reach in from Uping Sumalino.
Look at all the white shirts swarming on Mike McKinney.
That's how tight the handles of Mike McKinney are.
And the respect.
Yeah. Better to get the ball away from his hands or out of his hands.
We're losing some space here on our stat sheet already. McKinney, 16 points. We are just in the first quarter with 1.5 minutes to go.
He scored 16 of the 26 points of the Black Bears.
Black Bears get the lead, 26-25. Urbistondo down to Bachman. Draws a double. Good ball movement. Sumalino to Ramos. Javelona goes closer. Sumalino. That was good movement for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Black Bears. Watkins with the offensive rebound off that Nathan Yu miss. Macau up by 3.
That's a bonus for the Macau Black Bears, given the front line of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, and Ryan Watkins, one of the hardest working big men we have here in the league.
Javelona. Ramos. He loses the ball, asking for a foul.
PJ Ramos has to go straight up. If you put the ball down on the floor, you allow the defense to swipe at you.
And the crowd doesn't like it. Even the coaching staff cannot believe Sumalinag thought it was all ball.
And out on your screens is PJ Ramos and Paulo Javilona arguing with the other referee because Ramos felt that it was the same play on the other end of the court. That was the previous putback there by Ryan Watkins off that transition 3 attempt by Nathan Yu.
Ryan Watkins at the line.
Averages about 22 points, 15 rebounds. Also a 63% free throw shooter.
Watkins splitting his charities now with 9 points for the Black Bears. 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
About a 7-0 run here for Macau.
Nice look, that high-low play between Domingo and Ramos. Just cannot convert. Last shot time now for Macau. Shot clock is dead. McKinney against Bachman. 6 to shoot. McKinney cannot shake off Bachman. 1 to shoot. Oh! One official calling a personal foul at the end of the first quarter.
I thought that was great defense by Ronaldo Bogman.
Up until the final second.
They're going to get Lawrence Domingo for the foul on the help defense, but excellent one-on-one defense there by Ronaldo Bogman. And you see how quick Mike McKinney is.
Let's take a look what happened there. It was great defense up until that point.
That was actually the left arm of Mike McKinney who had that extra grab on Lawrence Domingo.
Perfect from the line so far as Mike McKinney, 5 of 5. Mike McKinney, 6'1", from Union City, California, leading the way now with 18 markers to help Macau lead at the end of the first, 31-25 against the defending champions, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first quarter. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas starting out strong. Macau Black Bears ending the first period with a run of their own thanks to that man, Mike McKinney, with 18 points in the first 10 minutes of play. Bobby Ray Parks Jr. just with 5 markers. It's Urbistondo, Domingo, Javilona, Bachman, and Alabanza, the 5 on the floor for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
It was actually lights out shooting for the Black Bears, 52% from the field. They were also 5 of 8 from long distance as McKinney and Watkins have combined for 27 of the 31 points of the visiting squad.
Here's Javilona for 3. Watkins towering over Alabanza with that board.
Meanwhile, Alab Pilipinas have only made 1 triple in the game, 1 out of 6.
Javilona will be called for that personal foul.
going to be a tough matchup here for Paolo Javelon. I expect San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to double Mike McKinney off the ball screen. Now it's Domingo picking up Mike McKinney. There's that foul on Javelona.
McKinney sees an opening. Kicks it out. The three is good.
This is why Mike McKinney hurts you so many ways. If he does not score, he makes that penetration, he finds an open teammate.
Orbistondo tries to answer. Alab Pilipinas cannot convert from the outside. Great shooting so far for the Black Bears. Can extend their lead further with Watkins scoring, and now this is the biggest lead for the visiting Macau Black Bears. An 11-point margin, 36-25. Here's that kick out. Mike McKinney, Derek King, and then that's a good look to Ryan Watkins. Macau Black Bears without Anthony Tucker doing a fantastic job so far. Coach Jimmy Alapag forced to call a timeout. His team down 11. PJ Ramos still at the bench.
And you know, this is where you really miss the services of Kalen Tiongson and Brandon Rosser, because these are two wingmen or two swingmen who can gives you so much length, can cover so much ground, and are so athletic that they can defend both perimeter and frontline players.
Domingo Orbistondo, good perimeter defense for the Black Bears, and a turnover for Alab Pilipinas. McKinney on the run. You thought about it. Back to McKinney. Inside to Watkins. And Alabanza clears the ball.
That's going to be a turnover for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And what Macau is doing is they're just exploiting the defense of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, using their one-on-one talent, forcing the defense to react to that two-man game, which opens up the shooters on the corner, or that penetration or that slide to the basket by Ryan Watkins.
PJ Ramos and Bobby Ray Parks Jr. coming back in for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Domingo now on McKinney. McKinney calling the play against Domingo. McKinney gets fouled. Getting Domingo up in the air.
And you see how smart Mike McKinney is. He knew that Domingo was overcommitted, went for the up fake. Domingo got up in the air and then draws the foul, as will head to the line for two more free throws.
Let's go back to Miss Denise inside. Denise, what do you have?
Mike McKinney is not wasting any time into getting his groove, being very aggressive on the first quarter. As you mentioned a while ago, Andre and Marco. Now, the Macau Black Bears had a slow start in the beginning of the season, but they did not allow their losses actually to cripple their team's self-esteem, but in fact, it only contributed to their character and has even empowered them to prepare them for this moment to solidify their slot in the semis. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Denise. Bachman will try. Bachman gets the ball back inside to his fellow Puerto Rican, PJ Ramos.
But
First 2 points here in the second quarter. He has a total of 10.
But the initial defense of Macau is they're forcing San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to shoot shots from the outside. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas has to do a better job getting that offensive rebound and getting that putback.
Domingo is running it. He has two in the wings. He takes it to himself. Lawrence Domingo now with 10. And the Macau Black Bears, Coach Mu Jiangjin will call a timeout. His team, though, still up 36-29. Earlier, it was the Macau Black Bears with a run of their own. San Miguel countered after that timeout called by Coach Jimmy Alapag, cutting this Macau lead to 7. He's been solid. He's been steady. It's low, though, Lawrence Domingo, as you see his numbers in their previous game against the Singapore Slingers.
Yeah, 12 points against the Singapore Slingers, 5 rebounds, 1 block today. Against the Macau Black Bears, already with 10 points, still perfect from the field. Go along with 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and excellent defense.
Watkins fires a 3. Bachman takes the board.
And if they can force Macau to keep shooting that outside shot, that's going to bode well for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
Parks, good defense by McKinney. Watkins in trouble. Urbistondo gets the ball back for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Bachman, some way, somehow, gets to the hoop. Just a second basket in the game, Marco. He has 4 points.
And it's a 6-0 run here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, cutting the deficit down to 5.
It went up as much as 11. McKinney. Watkins. Young is back in. Young goes closer. In and out.
And forcing the ball out of the hands of Mike McKinney, making the other Macau Black Bears defeat them. And so far it has worked.
Bachman inside. Bachman back-to-back baskets.
Down to a 1-possession game here. 8-0 run for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
McKinney. A drought for the Black Bears. Oh, but Mike McKinney using the glass. 21 points, another 3 for Mike McKinney.
And there's nothing you can do about that. Bobby Ray Parks defended that shot as well as he could have. McKinney just making it off the glass, and Lawrence Domingo continues to be relentless on the offensive end. Here's that steal coming from Urbistondo, and Ronaldo Bachman, one of the best at finishing in traffic.
For his size, threading the needle there. Now Lawrence Domingo at the line.
New face on the floor for the Black Bears. It's Tian Jong-shan, number 31.
Domingo, 6'4", listed at 6'4". Went to Eastern New Mexico in the U.S. McKinney. Young will fire. McKinney gets the ball back. Out of the Leong. Here's Tian from the outside, in and out.
And they have the advantage with Bobby Ray Parks.
Oh, Parks just bulldozing his way to the hoop. The coaching staff of Macau asking for a charge.
Had some words to say to Jennings Young after the basket.
McKinney, and he knocks another 3 down. He is just on fire. 24 big markers.
And we're only in the first half, still with half a quarter to go.
4 triples, 24 points for Mike McKinney. Almost a steal for Macau. Ramos inside to Domingo. Kick out to Bachman. Corner 3. Bang! Bang! Bang!
How about the patience there for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas? Assist number 11.
Bachman only had 2 in the first quarter. Heated up here in the second. When his team down by 11, suddenly cutting this deficit now to 3 with 4:29 to go.
And that one also coming off another assist from Lawrence Domingo, who has been the X factor for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
Jenny Leung using that Watkins screen. Traveling will be called on Tian.
And again, as long as somebody else other than Mike McKinney is handling that basketball, Alab is confident that they can defend. Amazing numbers from Mike McKinney. 28 big points already. scramble there on the part of Ryan Watkins. Went for the steal. Nobody left to defend except for Mike McKinney, but Watkins answers right back with another triple.
Albano, Parks corner three. Doesn't get the bounce. Watkins with another board. Harassed by Parks. McKinney looking up. The kick out by Tian Tiu. Extra pass. Jennings Leung. McKinney free for three. Bang, bang, bang. And Mike McKinney, his 5th triple in the game.
Not the guy you want to help off of, and Bobby Ray Parks quickly apologizes to the coach Jimmy Alapag.
Ramos thought about taking the three. Now Parks posting up McKinney. The seal.
That's quick hands there from McKinney.
Yu leaves it. Now Bachman on the run. Bachman all the way. No.
Left it a bit short there. Well challenged by Macau.
Leung. Watkins fires. Knocks down another triple. Ryan Watkins and Mike McKinney making it rain from downtown, giving the Macau Black Bears a 10-point lead again with 2:39 left in the first half. As we take a look at this play by Parks, how about Mike McKinney shooting 66% from the field for the Macau Black Bears with 27 points in 17 minutes here in the first half, drilling three from downtown. It says in our stat sheet, drilled five triples.
Ryan Watkins also with 4 out of 6 from the three-point line. As you see here, they've split their 2 meetings so far, 106-99. When Alab defeated Macau here in the Phil Flying V Center, and then Macau defeated them 116-103. And so far, lights out shooting for the Black Bears.
Ramos, 5 under 24. Ramos.
Watkins and McKinney have combined for 44 of the 51 points of Macau Black Bears.
That time Macau cannot convert. That was Nathan Yu on the run.
And Macau has only scored 6 points inside the paint. Everything has pretty much been from the outside.
San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is 2 of 11 from downtown. Macau drilling 11 triples. They're 11 for 18 from three-point territory in this game.
Well, the Black Bears number 1 are second in the league in terms of three-point shooting at 38%. They average about 13 triples per game. Right now they have 11 in the first half. Bobby Ray Parks adds to his numbers. Parks now with 8 points.
Completes a three-point play there.
And now they have Albano on McKinney. Bachman switches over.
Thomas Torres now in the game, guarding Leung. Albano, good defense on Watkins. He drills the three. Watkins now also with 5 threes.
That's just amazing shooting, and nothing much Albano could do after that. He was all over that shot from Ryan Watkins. Here's that sequence once again. Step back 3, well challenged. And Watkins just connects.
Macau, PJ Ramos slams it home. 14 points for the big man. The Macau Black Bears, Marco shooting the lights out. 12 of 19 from 3.
That's a nice hard show there by Bogman.
McKinney goes baseline. McKinney partially deflected by Bogman. He has leather now on the run. Albano extra pass. Parks wanting to go to Bogman. Perfectly read by Leong. Watkins. Baseball pass. Ramos to Bogman, traveling.
It's a good call there by the referee. Bogman taking extra steps. Would have been easy 2 points. Another pinpoint baseball pass coming from PJ Ramos. But how about, as you mentioned, Dre, how about the three-point shooting of the Black Bears? 12 of 20.
They're shooting like the Golden State Warriors here in this game. Nice pass, a Kuala swat by Bogman. Kian is still down. Watkins fires a 3. Man down for Macau.
I think Bogman got him on the face, but referee stops play. I think Tian got caught by the forearm of Ronaldo Bogman on the challenge.
Tian being attended to. Not sure if there's a cut, but Tian's still down. Seems okay, a bit shaken up. He's up on his feet.
There's that sequence once again. Actually, I don't think he got him on the face.
Yes.
Looks like it was all ball.
What he's saying right now is maybe that elbow after that contact, they're up in the air. He'll head to the bench. Yuzi Hao comes back, comes in for Macau.
So Macau catching a lucky break here after that miss. After that miss, the referee stops play and it's going to be a jump ball. So ball possession will go in favor of the Black Bears. 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock.
McKinney has the leather again in his hands. Why not? 8-point lead. McKinney from way down. He knocks it down.
Mike McKinney just unconscious here in the first half, continues to light it up.
6 triples. Jinx. 30 points for Mike McKinney. As we take a look at some highlights, Sparks with that stare down after that bucket, but how about Mike McKinney? Drilling 6 threes, 30 points for the visiting team, the Macau Black Bears. Up 11, 57-46 at the half. We'll be right back with more ABL action. Welcome back to the live and exclusive coverage of the ASEAN Basketball League. Strive to greatness. As we take a look at the highlights in the first half, the Macau Black Bears, currently number 4 in the team standings, with 12 wins, 9 losses, find themselves ahead by 11, 57-46 against the defending champions, the home team, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Some highlights here: PJ Ramos, 6 of 11 from the field, 14 points. Bogman just with 9. Ryan Watkins, 20 points. 5 of 8 from downtown. Mike McKinney, 6 of 8 from three-point land. As you take a look, the Macau Black Bears, 13 of 22, shooting 59% Marco from three-point range.
Yeah, that's just an amazing stat, especially with just one half of basketball that has been played. 13 of 22. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas has been dominating inside the paint, 34-6, but it has pretty much been outscored. They've pretty much been outscored because of the three-point shooting of the Macau Black Bears, and Mike McKinney and Ryan Watkins have combined for 50 of the 57 points of the Black Bears.
We'll take another quick break, but when we return, it will be the second half, third quarter underway between the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas and the visiting Macau Black Bears, only here on SNA. Third quarter now on the way between the defending champions San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, down 11 against the visiting Macau Black Bears. Last time these two teams met were back in February 27 at Macau, where Macau won 103-116. Bobby Ray Parks starts off the third period.
And you know, I like how first play off the bat for Coach Jimmy Alapag is to post up Mike McKinney, make him work extra hard on the defensive end. Hopefully that will make him exert a lot of energy, prevent him from scoring a lot more buckets, as so far he has been almost impeccable from the field. 30 points already with 6 out of 8 from the three-point line, 9 of 14 from the field.
There's that look inside. Parks too deep, posting up McKinney. And then there's that foul by Mike McKinney.
First personal foul on Mike McKinney. Looks like they're going to run the same play right here.
Alvano spinning. Alvano all the way.
Nice spin move there from Ethan Alvano. You see the one-on-one skills of his point guard for Coach Jimmy Alapag.
Watkins. Tight defense on Mike McKinney. Parks not letting McKinney have the ball, but he has it now against Parks. McKinney, 5 to shoot. McKinney from way downtown.
Would have brought the house down. That's Steph Curry range. But excellent defense, excellent off-ball defense from Bobby Ray Parks, denying Mike McKinney. And there's a left-handed finish from Ethan Alvano.
Born in Corona, California, Ethan Alvano. Mike McKinney, you did mention Steph Curry range. He is playing like Curry. Oh, how about PJ Ramos? Watkins asking for that ward off, asking the officials, still pleading his case.
And Watkins still talking to the referee, but if you can't attack McKinney in the post, you can attack Watkins using PJ Ramos.
Jennings Leung, Watkins, season opening, Watkins all the way.
And Watkins, of course, the quicker of the two big men between him and PJ Ramos.
Alvano misses, Watkins another board. 7 rebounds for Ryan Watkins, 22 points. Jennings Leung gets the bump on Parks. Bachman on the run, 3-on-2. Bachman all the way.
San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is just going to continue attacking the paint, as there is no shot blocker on the floor outside of Ryan Watkins.
McKinney. Some way still getting a shot up. 32 points for Mike McKinney. Bachman too deep, gets fouled.
And Bachman's getting frustrated here by Jan Jongshan.
Shannon and Bachman now.
Little color developing here between the two big men.
Here's that move by McKinney.
That's excellent. That's an excellent pivot move.
Mike McKinney, half Filipino, half American.
Now PJ Ramos talking to Ronaldo Bachman, telling him to settle down. 1-on-1, there's nobody there on the floor that can defend Bachman in the post. Probably outside of Ryan Watkins.
Bachman missing from the line. 34 years of age. Born in Staten Island, New York. As said so many times, has played with the likes of Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire for the New York Knicks in the NBA. Also played with the Denver Nuggets. Finding a home here in the Philippines. He loves the Filipino crowd. Filipinos also learning to love Bachmania. You see kids wearing his shirts, his hat.
Well, he's been frustrated so far. Only 11 points in the game for Ronaldo Bachman.
Watkins almost a traveling violation. Albano pushing him. Oh! Pass too strong for Parks to handle. Another turnover here for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. 8th here in the game.
Now, one thing about Macau is they have taken care of the basketball. Only 3 turnovers in the game so far. There's a wayward pass coming from Ethan Albano. Does not normally turn the ball over that much.
Jenny Leung, the kick out. Wanting to go inside Xian. Ramos now blocked. Bachman, Albano, corner 3. No, Watkins with a board.
That was a good challenge there from Derek King. That was a wide open triple.
Watkins 1 board away from a double-double. He has 22 points, 9 rebounds. And chair pull there. Domingo will be charged with a foul. He does not agree. Our Singaporean referee, Chuen Wings Yong.
One of the few times that Ryan Watkins has gotten a mismatch in the paint. That's a nice find there from McKinney.
Watkins. Look at Parks, not allowing McKinney to get the ball, but he gets it. McKinney. Alab Pilipinas doing a way better job on defense against McKinney here in the second half. Marco making McKinney bleed for his points.
And it all starts with a ball denial by Bobby Ray Parks, and then the help defense from Ronaldo Bachman. Well, that's going to be a foul on Bachman.
Now McKinney and Bachman having some words for each other. And Bachman talking to team consultant of Macau.
And there's blood on the, I think there's blood on the face of Bachman.
Now Bachman. Oh, there is blood on Ronaldo Bachman, but the referees may have missed that. That's what he's saying to the officials, also to the coaching staff of the Macau Black Bears, saying, look at me, I'm bleeding, no foul.
And you just see how hard Bachman plays on every possession. Here's that sequence once again. Oh, he got hit on the head. Hit by the back of the head of Mike McKinney. These are two tough competitors talking about Bachman and Mike McKinney.
Ronaldo Bachman has to go to the bench, stop the bleeding. He will be attended to. Oh, he is frustrated. He will head to the locker room. And the fans cheering on Ronaldo Bachman.
This guy plays with so much passion. It has been a frustrating afternoon offensively for Ronaldo Bachman. 11 points, 5 of 9. He's only been able to take 9 field goal attempts. He's 0 of 2 from the line as well. And on top of that, he's had to defend Ryan Watkins, Mike McKinney, who have just lit the scoreboard up. McKinney has 32, Watkins has 22.
Well, just 5 days ago when Alab Pilipinas took on the Singapore Slingers, Bachman was on fire as Mike McKinney continues to heat up. 34 points for McKinney.
No help defense inside the paint.
Nobody home, a one-handed slam, PJ Ramos. (63-56). Black Bears still ahead. Chan the kick out. Jenning Leung opening, goes inside. What a move for Jenning Leung.
And the Macau Black Bears have played excellent basketball. They've managed their shot clock well. They've played smart basketball, forcing the defense to come out hard, and then a strong penetration there from Jenning Leung.
Domingo gets fouled, tosses one up, falls down hard. It's getting chippy now here in the third quarter, Marco. Let's take a look. It's moved by Mike McKinney.
And because PJ Ramos is defending Watkins, no help defense outside of Lawrence Domingo was a bit too late. And there's that stuff by PJ Ramos. Nice assist coming from Bobby Ray Parks.
Bistondo now back in for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Domingo almost losing a handle on the ball. Parks, Sumalinog for three. Ramos offensive board, put back is good for the big man. 20 points for PJ Ramos.
And remember, against the Singapore Slingers, when Bogman took over the first half, it was PJ Ramos' turn to take over in the second half.
A foul, unsportsmanlike foul, whistled on Upeng Sumalinog.
Unsportsmanlike foul on number 34, Upeng Sumalinog. That's score.
Fourth personal on Sumalinog. Timeout on the floor. Macau still up 65-58. Under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Jin King, Joe Devance, Speaker of the House, JDV, with his lovely wife. Kaalab natin ngayong gabi. Magandang gabi po sa lahat ng ating mga manonood. Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Every Filipino watching and loving the basketball action tonight on SNA. Also on YouTube, as we see, for De La Salle Green Archer. Of course, Francis Zamora.
Jenny Leung will be taking 2 free throws after that unsportsmanlike foul on Upeng Sumalinog. And for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, they just have to keep their head in the game. They're just down by 8 points right now. Still have 4, close to 5 minutes here in the third quarter, and an entire fourth quarter ahead of them.
A little trivia here for Jenning Leung, wearing jersey number 4 for the Macau Black Bears. He was born in Washington, in Pullman, Washington, but went to school here in Los Baños, Laguna, at Brent International School to be exact. He doesn't know how to speak Filipino. Here he is, drives all the way, right on cue. Jenning Leung.
And again, no help defense there for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Quick timeout from Coach Jimmy Alapag.
Good move for the 23-year-old. 10-point lead for the Macau Black Bears. 68 for the Macau Black Bears, 58 for the defending champion, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Miss Denise Tensai has more on the game. Denise?
Just an injury report and a status update on Ronaldo Balkman. Now, it is not a major fracture. In fact, according to their PT, Jello Mesahon, it's only slight bruising, though they are trying to stop the heavy bleeding for Ronaldo Balkman to be back into the game. So we have nothing to worry about for Balkmania. Back to you, Andre and Marco.
That's good news for the Balkman fans. Thank you, Miss Denise Tensai. There's Ronaldo Balkman earlier in case you missed it. Inadvertently hitting the back of the head of Mike McKinney.
I know Ronaldo Balkman, the tough competitor that he is, he's going to try to get back into this game. And so far, PJ Ramos is carrying the load for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, but they have to be able to make stops on the defensive end. An 8-point advantage here for Macau.
22 points now for PJ Ramos. Jianing Leong. McKinney. McKinney has been quiet so far in the third quarter. McKinney for the shoot. McKinney cannot shake off Domingo, but what a move. This kid is gifted offensively. 36 points from Mike McKinney.
Just a scorer, flat-out scorer, Mike McKinney. So many tricks in his bag. So zone defense right now from the Black Bears.
Nice move all the way. Nobody on Pao Avelona.
Defensive miscommunication as well, as that was an open lane. But again, Alab cannot afford to trade baskets here.
Bachman getting ready to check back in. McKinney. The foul on PJ Ramos.
Ramos quickly admits to the foul. That's going to be his first personal. So he has done a good job staying away from foul trouble, as Bachman will relieve Ramos.
There was that difficult shot by Mike McKinney. Then Avelona all alone to the hoop. Leong. There's Jianing Leong. Mike McKinney against Parks. 5-4, 3 to shoot. McKinney. And he is just unstoppable. Marco, 38 markers for Mike McKinney.
And you know, that slight hesitation, getting Bachman off guard, and then the quick elevation and the release.
Avelona. Urbistondo. For 3. Bang! Bang! Bang!
Lawrence Domingo looks like he got hit on the knee. Domingo is in pain. He's down on the floor.
San Miguel Alab Pilipinas already with 2 men down with injuries. Kalen Yongsun with a sprained right ankle. Brandon Rosser having knee problems. Had an MRI yesterday. Diagnosis still not known. Let's see what happened here. Here's that big triple from Urbistondo.
It looks like Yuzi Hao fell on the knee of Lawrence Domingo. So hopefully Domingo will be okay.
We'll get an update from Mr. Denise Tensai later on. Leong traveling. Good defense from Pao Avelona and Jianing Leong.
And that has been the calling card of Pao Avelona ever since his college days with the NU Bulldogs. Moving his feet. Chance for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to cut this down to a 2-possession game.
Mr. Leds Kainhina of Virtual Playground along with Robbie Domingo. Actor, TV host. Also a VJ. Parks! Cans the triple!
Giving Mike McKinney a taste of his own medicine. McKinney fighting under the screen. And the 2-time reigning Heritage import, a local MVP rather, hitting that triple.
15 points for Parks. McKinney all the way. 40 points for Mike McKinney.
And if I'm not mistaken, Mike McKinney's career high is 41. So So he's got pretty much an entire fourth quarter to go to beat that.
Pretty much 12 minutes. Orbistondo! No, that three won't go down. Would have rocked the Phil Oil Flying V Center in San Juan in the Philippines. McKinney, three. Orbistondo to Bachman. What a pass from Orbistondo to Bachman.
That's a nice connection there for the Fireball. Lead is down to 2 points.
Watkins.
PJ Ramos had some contact after the shot, but the referee is saying that it was a flop by Ryan Watkins. But that's going to count as another stop for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Here's that triple from Bobby Ray.
McKinney, 40 points tonight. Orbistondo to Bachman. Just a 4-point game. The lead of Macau went up as high as 11. A minute and 20 to go in the third. Parks feeling it. Bang! Bang! Bang!
There's your local MVP, 18 points. Bobby Ray Parks back-to-back triples.
8 of his 18 coming here in the third quarter. The masked man, Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Cutting this Macau lead to 1. Bobby Ray Parks Jr. just had 5 points in the first quarter. 3 of those 5 came from the free throw line. Then scored 5 again in the second quarter. A quiet 10 points at the half for the 2-time reigning local MVP in the ABL, scoring 8 here in the third.
And you know what's more remarkable, Jay, is that he's the primary defender against Mike McKinney, so he has spent a lot of energy defending McKinney, but Watkins continuing to answer San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Watkins now with 24 big points.
A fairly quiet third quarter for Ryan Watkins after scoring 20 in the first half with 5 triples. For Bistondo, Javelona sets his feet. Bang! Bang! Bang!
And after just about 2 triples in the first half, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is lighting it up here in the third.
Jenning Leong, oh, missing. Second try for Macau. Orbistondo charged with a foul.
That's another nice assist there coming from Orbistondo, drawing the defense and then finding his wide open backcourt mate, Paolo Javelona.
Former NU Bulldog. Tying the game at 76 all. Derek King missing at the line.
You know, this is where the bench might be a factor as we enter the fourth quarter. Albano is going to be fresh.
2 misses at the line from Derek King.
While McKinney and Ryan Watkins have pretty much played the entire ball game.
Shot clock is dead. 10 seconds. Parks Ramos inside Bachman. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas down 11 at the half when the score was 57-46. Finally has taken the lead 78-76 at the end of the third quarter. We'll be right back with a fourth after a few reminders from our sponsors. Second period, they were still outscored by the Macau Black Bears. As we see again, actor TV host here in the Philippines, Roby Domingo, I believe with a date.
And that third quarter, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas once again exploding as they are known to do. 32-19 third quarter for the home squad.
78-76 at the end of the third. McKinney. Nice look to Watkins. Gets fouled. Watkins will head to the line for two.
Good call there by the referee. Bobby Ray Parks forced to help out as McKinney drew two defenders off that ball screen.
How about Mike McKinney though, Marco? Scoring 18 points in the first quarter, scoring 12 in the second, a total of 30 at the end of the first two quarters. He has a total of 40 points now for the Filipino-American, last year's Heritage Import MVP in the ABL, Mike McKinney.
And you know, add that, Dre, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 0 turnovers in
Very
30 minutes of play.
Meanwhile, Watkins splits his charities.
Look for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas to try to attack the paint once again.
Savilona, Ramos, Bachman, Orbistondo, and Parks. The quintet for Coach Jimmy Alapag. Start the fourth. Bachman inside. Good pass from Pau Javelona.
That's a perfect lob there from Javelona.
The defending champs with a 3-point lead. McKinney still guarded by Parks. Yo for three. Jan. And the Macau bench asking for a foul. Javelona, Parks.
And they want to isolate Bachman in the post.
Bachman against Shan. Orbistondo feeling it. McKinney. Shan. Thought about it, fires it, no go.
San Miguel will give him that shot all night long.
Orbistondo. Another three for Javelona, he overshoots.
PJ Ramos has not touched the ball in the past 2 possessions.
Alvano getting ready to come back in the game in the next dead ball.
And so is Liu Zhihao for Macau.
What a game. Here in the Philippines, McKinney. Javelona on the ground, he is still down. Foul called on PJ. There's that McKinney drive.
Now they're going to get PJ Ramos for that push on Ryan Watkins. But you can't say enough about how Bobby Ray Parks has defended Mike McKinney. You know, despite 40-plus points from McKinney, Bobby Ray Parks is just trying to shadow him all over the court.
Really not allowing McKinney to get a hand on the ball. Watkins trying to shake off Ramos. Oh, Watkins has to let it go. Bachman gets fouled.
Duty foul there on the part of Liu Zihao. It's almost impossible to stop Ronaldo Bachman one-on-one in transition.
Here's that foul by Liu Zihao on Bachman. Jenning Leung comes back in. Nathan Yu back to the bench for Macau. Ramos. Ramos third try, flexes his biceps. And the big man will head to the line.
And this is where San Miguel Alab Pilipinas has the clear advantage. 58 points in the paint. PJ Ramos now with 24 markers. Leading scorer for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
A double-double for PJ. 25 points and 10 rebounds.
Remember, he had 22 and 17 against Singapore last Sunday.
Young will try. McKinney, rather. Another three from Mike McKinney. 43 points for Mike McKinney.
How deadly is that shake and bake? And how deadly is the quick answer by Ronaldo Bachman? Nobody there to stop him.
Jenning Leung guarded by Alvano. Watkins. Liu Zihao gets fouled. He'll head to the line for two.
Here's that shake and bake, in and out dribble, and then the pull up. And here's that answer from Bachman.
Mike McKinney, 7 of 11 from downtown. 43 points as Liu Zihao misses that free throw.
14 triples as a team for the Macau Black Bears.
Liu misses both. Parks. Ramos. Alvano. Inside to Bachman. Draws a double. Sees Alvano cut. Ramos offensive board. Stuffs it in.
Ryan Watkins looking for a call. No call by the referee.
Meanwhile, let's get an update on Lawrence Domingo after he heard his name. Miss Denise Nasai has an update.
Andre Lawrence Domingo is feeling a whole lot better, but the coaching staff of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is not taking any risk. Now, they are confident that the team will be able to hold the helm for the injured players, adding lightheartedly that this isn't their first rodeo filling in the shoes for their injured players. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Denise. McKinney, 45 points. Bachman, the foul, the basket, the chest bump. Bachmania.
Bachman unstoppable inside the paint. That's just unfair to put Liu Zihao on an island against Ronaldo Bachman, 5 feet from the basket.
Look at Bachman go. Bloody nose and all. 21 points for Ronaldo Bachman, 8 rebounds. For the former NBA player, was drafted 20th overall by the New York Knicks back in 2006.
And you know, Dre, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas slowly extending their lead. This is their biggest lead of the game so far at 8 points.
McKinney gets fouled, throws one up. You know,
almost made it actually.
And I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Just one of those games for Mike McKinney. Everything going in, even that heave after the foul from PJ Ramos. It's going to be a side court inbound for the Black Bears.
Macau asking for free throws. There, McKinney. Now to kick out, turnover for Macau.
And again, for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, their best bet is to get the ball out of the hands of Mike McKinney for somebody else to try to beat them, because McKinney has been successful so far with 43.
Albano on the way. McKinney on the run for the Black Bears. McKinney. Xian gets an easy layup.
That was an excellent double there from Havelona, but Tian doing well to recover and then go hard to the basket.
Here's Sparks. Derek King will be charged for a personal foul. There's that pickup by Zhongxian and goes all the way. .505 to go. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas on top of everybody in the APL. 17 wins, 4 losses. 3 to shoot. Havilona has to let that one go. A turnover for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. McKinney. Xian. Good look by McKinney.
That's another excellent decision there on the part of Mike McKinney. So trims it back down to a 2-possession game. Macau down by 4.
Here's Parks looking to go inside to Ramos. The help by McKinney. PJ, double. Bachman, Parks, bang! Bang! Bang!
And how good has Bobby Ray Parks been? 21 points. Primary defender against Mike McKinney.
Parks has really picked it up in the second half. McKinney. Now here's Bachman on the run. Parks on the other end. Oh, but a turnover for Bachman. Wanting to go to Havilona. Coach Jimmy Alapag will call a timeout after that triple by Parks. The turnover by San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. The Filipino basketball fans loving the action here in the ABL. We'll be right back. Good evening once again to everybody watching here in the Philippines on SNA. Andre Felix on board with Marco Benitez. Mr. Neaston Sai also doing courtside duties. What a game. Macau Black Bears visiting San Miguel Alab Pilipinas.
And you know, both teams giving these fans their money's worth. Has been one of the most exciting and hard-fought games we've seen so far. And as usual, because it's a Macau Black Bears game, it's normally a high-scoring affair. 93-86 right now.
Anthony Tucker still out for the Macau Black Bears with that Jones fracture. Xian will try a 3, short. And like what you said earlier, Marco, if you're San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, you can live with that. Bachman too deep, missing. Bachman again!
Relentless is Ronaldo Bachman.
Watkins dared to take the 3, short. Bachman with another board.
And again, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas forcing somebody else outside of Mike McKinney to take those shots.
Ramos, the post up and under, no. McKinney is fouled by Avelona.
That's going to send Mike McKinney to the free throw line as Alab is in the penalty. 9-point advantage for Alab. And for McKinney, this is already his career high so far. Going for 47 with these 2 free throws. On pace for 50.
McKinney gets that to drop 46 points for Michael Alexander McKinney. Last year's ASEAN Heritage import in the ABL, a Filipino-American, played for Sacramento State and was the first player in the school's Division I history to be named Conference Player of the Year. Also an honorable mention All-American Mike McKinney, a gifted scorer. Avelona corner 3. McKinney with a rebound. McKinney fires. Short. McKinney goes closer. The runner, the basket, the foul. 49 points, a chance to go for the big 5-0 for Mike McKinney.
I was about to say, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas dodging a bullet because of that drag screen. Was an open 3 for Mike McKinney, but gets his own miss. And then the floater plus the foul.
Started at Fremont, California. Now 50 points.
There's the 50 piece for Mike McKinney. Career high.
For the 2-time unanimous first team All Big Sky Conference pick. Also former Big Sky Player of the Year. Bogman dared to take the 3. Ramos stopped by Watkins. McKinney's numbers for Marco, 50 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists for Mike McKinney. Timeout call by Jimmy Alapag. Alab up by 4, 95-91 with 2:24 left in the game. And also former Miss Universe candidate MJ Lastimosa also in attendance. She represented the Philippines in the Miss Universe pageant, along with the former NCAA volleyball MVP, team captain, just recently named as the team captain of the national men's volleyball team that will play in the Southeast Asian Games, John Vic de Guzman, also with virtual playground. Bachman gets fouled.
And Ronaldo Bachman continues to attack the basket. That's a nice baseline play there for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Just a 4-point lead here for Alab.
Bachman at the line, last year's co-defensive player of the year in the ABL. Listed at 6'8", 210 pounds. Gives Alab Pilipinas some sort of breathing room. And 97 for the defending champions, 91 for the Black Bears. McKinney for 3.
Yeah, nice simple play, nice pin down screen there from Ryan Watkins. And McKinney had a good look, just a little too strong.
Down to final 2 minutes. Macau was leading pretty much most of the game, but Alab Pilipinas turning up the heat here in the second half. PJ Ramos scoring 15 of his 29 points in the second half.
That was a nice high-low play off the horn set. One-on-one against Ryan Watkins.
McKinney. McKinney, the spin. Chan will hit the line.
Bachman asking for a traveling violation. And there's that entry pass there from Bachman to Ramos. How many times have we seen that this season? Still a lot of time here if you're the Black Bears. 131.
Chan with 6 points for Macau off the bench.
Bachman looks to be in a little bit of pain on that left leg of his.
Alvano. Bachman. Parks. A 6-point game. Alvano. Back to him. Thought about taking the 3. Ramos, the spin. Turnover for San Miguel, Alab Pilipinas. And Coach Mu Jianjin will call a timeout. 1:09 to go. The Macau Black Bears down 6. A big second half, mainly for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. PJ Ramos, Ronaldo Bachman, and Bobby Ray Parks. 11 here in the second of his 21 for Bobby Ray Parks Jr. 17 of the 26 of Bachman coming from the third and the fourth. And PJ Ramos also chipping in 15 of his 29 in the third and the fourth quarters.
Ronaldo Bachman, 2 assists shy of a triple-double here with 8 assists.
Another turnover for the Macau Black Bears. That could be costly. Jenning Leong.
Scrambling defense from San Miguel Alab with Bachman as the last line of defense.
Parks. Ramos. Bachman. 5, 4. Ramos will fire a 3. King, big 3. The tap ends up with McKinney. McKinney. Trapped by Parks. Cross court, Jenning Leong. And Macau cannot knock that three down that could cut this Alab Pilipinas lead to 3.
That was a great stop on the part of Bobby Ray Parks. Did not bite on the initial fake of Mike McKinney. Just stood his ground. And Joe Devance enjoying the action here with Sol Mercado. Well, what a game this has been. Paulo Avellona can put the finishing touches. Make this a 3-possession game with 15 seconds remaining.
Avellona now gives San Miguel Alab Pilipinas make their 100-point mark, as we see Simon Enciso is also enjoying the action here. Jennings Leung gets the 3, but 8.5 to go.
And they will send Uping Sumalinog into the game for some free throw shooting, just in case Macau tries to foul.
With 8.5 remaining, Coach Jimmy Alapag calls a timeout. Defending champs up by 4.
There you see Ronaldo Bachman on your screens. What an effort it has been for Bachmania. 37 minutes, 26 big points, 11 of 17 from the field, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. And that's a good timeout actually for Coach Jimmy Alapag. They will advance the ball to their front court and they will be able to map out an inbounds play as they expect Macau Black Bears to try to go for the steal and if not, immediately foul and force them to make free throws.
How about PJ Ramos, Ronaldo Bachman, and Bobby Ray Parks Jr. combining for 43 of Alab Pilipinas' 54 points in the second half.
And there's the foul there from Jennings Leung. Bobby Ray Parks will head to the line where he is so far 4 out of 4. Shaved off about a second from the game clock.
Parks now with 22 points.
And Park can actually miss the second free throw. So Macau has no chance to call a timeout.
And he does miss. Jennings Leung. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas with a revenge, avenging that loss back in February 27 against the Macau Black Bears when they lost in Macau 116 to 103. Final score here 101 for the defending champions, 96 for the Macau Black Bears. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas moves up 18 wins and 4 losses, still on top of the team standings. As for the Macau Black Bears, they drop to 12 and 10, tying with the Saigon Heat. San Miguel Alab Pilipinas prevailing, escaping the pesky Macau Black Bears despite a 50-point performance from Macau's Mike McKinney. And this guy, Ronaldo Bachman, with a bloody nose and all, our best player of the game with 26 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Just 2 assists shy of a triple-double for the reigning co-defensive player of the year in the ABL, Ronaldo Bachman.
That's just an amazing effort from Ronaldo Bachman, but you also have to give a lot of credit, of course, to PJ Ramos, his running mate, 29 points, 8 rebounds, 13 rebounds, 1 assist. Bobby Ray Parks, excellent defense on Mike McKinney despite the 50-piece. 22 points for Bobby Ray, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And these are the remaining games of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. They will face the Macau Black Bears one more time. That's going to be on March 15 at the University of Macau Sports Complex, but they will also face the Formosa Dreamers 2 more times. That's going to be on the 10th and on the 17th. The San Miguel Alab Pilipinas so far the solo first spot. The Macau Black Bears also already in the playoff mix, so pretty much one of the most exciting non-bearing games technically, Andre, because both these teams already in the playoffs. But what a matchup we had, and what a performance, of course, from Mike McKinney.
It was a big first half for the Macau Black Bears. Mike McKinney scoring 30 in the first 2 quarters, helping the Black Bears leading by 11 in the first half, 57-46. Mike McKinney finished with 50 points in this one, but Bobby Ray Parks Jr. turned it on, turned it up, scoring 22. 12 of those 22 coming in the last 2 quarters, along with Bachman and Ramos. And San Miguel Alab Pilipinas outscoring the Macau Black Bears 55-39 in the last 2 quarters. Those are the highlights in the third. Mike McKinney still went on a tear. And then Bobby Ray Parks Jr. knocking that big 3 of those triples in the second half. Marco, always a pleasure working with you.
Always, likewise, Dre. What an exciting matchup. One of the most memorable games, scoring-wise, we've seen here in the ABL.
Especially this season, to the delight of Coach Jimmy Alapag's wife, Mrs. LJ Alapag, and everybody here inside the Phil Oil Flying V Center. For Mr. Marco Benitez, Ms. Denise Densai, our director, Amit Ramos, thank you to Virtual Playground. This is, of course, a live and exclusive coverage of the ASEAN Basketball League, only on SNL.